Within the enduring saga of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong, a narrative whispered for years in the digital catacombs of investment forums has taken a sudden, electrifying turn. The era of passive waiting and vague promises is purportedly over, replaced by a new, tangible mechanism, the activation of Tier 4B and the release of confidential bank-verified secret codes. This development, as detailed in the latest dispatch, signals a profound acceleration of the entire revaluation process. It is presented not as another hopeful rumor, but as a confirmed operational procedure, a direct, actionable path for the millions of individual currency holders who have remained steadfast. The codes are described as the definitive keys to a kingdom long kept under lock and key, designed to transform the everyday investor from a sideline spectator into a prioritized participant in a historic global financial event. To grasp the magnitude of this alleged shift, one must first understand the esoteric framework that has long underpinned the revaluation prophecy. The process has been described as a systematic, tiered hierarchy designed to manage a massive global liquidity event in a controlled manner. At the apex is Tier 1, comprising sovereign nations and the highest-level international entities that coordinate the fundamental adjustments. Below them, Tier 2 consists of large-scale institutional players, global banks, government funds, and financial powerhouses who participate early due to their sheer volume. Tier 3 is said to cover structured investor groups that meet high financial thresholds. For years, the individual holder has existed outside this formal structure, relegated to a state of hopeful uncertainty. The reported emergence of Tier 4B is therefore presented as the climax of the narrative. This tier is specifically designed for the individual everyday investor, the global legion of legitimate currency holders who have been patiently waiting for an authenticated, direct access point. According to the video, this is no longer an insider's game. The activation of Tier 4B and its reliance on sophisticated authentication tools, confidential entry codes, digital confirmations, and unique single-use passkeys is meant to democratize the process. These identifiers, allegedly issued directly through the established banking system, serve a crucial multifaceted function. They securely confirm exchange appointments, authenticate the legitimacy of the currency, and most importantly, grant access to the highly coveted official contract rates, which are purported to be vastly superior to any general market rate. This move from opaque rumor to a clear, verifiable protocol is positioned as a breakthrough in transparency, promising to finally provide a secure bridge between ordinary investors and the complex, high-stakes world of global currency revaluation.
The promise of the Tier 4B activation is not just a vague hope. It is presented as a highly structured, five-stage protocol, an intricate anatomy of the final exchange process, designed to guide the investor from anticipation to actualization. Each step is portrayed as a secure, bank-verified procedure, transforming what was once a chaotic world of rumor into a clear, linear path to financial resolution. This is the detailed blueprint that has electrified the community, offering a tangible sequence of events that believers can mentally rehearse as they await their summons. The journey begins not with a public announcement, but with a quiet, personal, and profoundly significant digital communication that sets the entire mechanism in motion. The first stage is code delivery, the initial and most critical step that bridges the chasm between waiting and acting. According to the narrative, each eligible investor will receive a secure, verified communication containing their unique Tier 4B secret code. This is not a mass mailing, but a targeted, confidential notification, potentially arriving via an encrypted email, a secure text message, or an authorized digital platform linked directly to the banking network. The stringent delivery methods are emphasized to ensure authenticity and guard against deception. Upon receipt, the holder's status is fundamentally altered. They are no longer a passive speculator, but an officially recognized participant in a prioritized system. The code itself serves a dual function. It is both a personal identifier and the master key that unlocks every subsequent stage of the process. With the key in hand, the investor proceeds to the second stage, appointment confirmation. Using their unique Tier 4B code, they are instructed to schedule or securely confirm a specific visit to an authorized redemption center or a participating financial institution. This is framed as far more than a simple reservation. It is the securing of a dedicated, high-priority checkpoint where specialized personnel are prepared to handle their specific case. This structured system is designed to eliminate the very uncertainties that have plagued investors for years. The endless disorganized queues, the potential for miscommunication, and the anxiety of the unknown. By confirming a precise time and location, holders are said to transform their apprehension into a sense of empowerment, allowing them to approach the final transaction with a plan and the confidence that they have a guaranteed and prioritized window for their exchange. The third stage, verification, is the moment where the digital key meets the physical lock. After arriving at the designated facility, the investor presents their unique code. The system, described as instantaneous and fail-safe, validates their identity and confirms their inclusion in the private Tier 4B group. This multi-layered verification is deemed critical for security, ensuring that only legitimate holders gain access to the privileged contract rates. During this step, specialized bank personnel cross-check the physical currency holdings, review all appointment details, and provide a definitive confirmation of eligibility. For the believer, this is a transformative moment where years of abstract hope become concrete, tangible validation. The successful verification is also said to trigger priority processing, immediately moving the investor to the front of the line and fast-tracking them toward the financial climax of the entire journey. This step is designed to be the final secure gateway, ensuring the integrity of a process that has been years in the making.
Once an investor has successfully navigated the initial stages of the exchange protocol and their identity has been irrevocably confirmed, they arrive at the financial heart of the entire operation, the final two steps where abstract value is converted into tangible wealth. The fourth stage, rate assignment, is the moment of revelation. It is here that the full financial weight of the Tier 4B code is purportedly realized. The video's narrative describes a seamless transition where, upon successful verification, the secure banking system automatically assigns the official contract rates to the investor's specific currency holdings. This step is presented as the critical differentiator that elevates the Tier 4B exchange above any conventional currency transaction. These are not the fluctuating street rates one might find at a typical exchange bureau. They're described as predefined, premium values, substantially higher than the prevailing market norms and historically reserved for the largest institutional players and privileged insiders. A crucial element of this stage is the empowerment of the investor through absolute clarity. Before committing to the exchange, the holder is informed of the precise contract rate being offered. This transparency allows them to see the full financial impact of their long-held assets and make a calm, informed decision free from the pressure of market volatility or the risk of undervaluation that can plague traditional exchanges. The process is designed to eliminate guesswork and speculation, replacing it with a guaranteed fairness that honors the holder's patience. By securely tying the unique verification codes directly to these high-level contract rates, the system, as described, provides the investor with a level of certainty and access that was previously unimaginable for the individual. It is the fulfillment of the core promise that those who held on would not just be rewarded, but would be granted entry into an exclusive financial tier. The fifth and final stage of the protocol is the cash out, the culmination of the entire journey where the investor assumes full control over their newfound financial standing. The system is said to offer a high degree of flexibility, accommodating the diverse needs and goals of each individual. The primary option is immediate liquidity, which allows the holder to access a significant portion of their funds on the spot, providing instant capital for urgent needs or time-sensitive reinvestment opportunities. Alternatively, for those with a long-term perspective, structured payouts are offered. This option is tailored for comprehensive wealth management, designed to optimize for tax efficiency and the strategic preservation of capital over an extended period. This choice between immediate access and structured management transforms the investor from a passive recipient into an active decision maker, placing them firmly in command of their financial future. To bolster the credibility of this intricate process, the narrative is supported by a chorus of expert insights. A prominent, unnamed financial analyst is cited, emphasizing that the very existence of an operational Tier 4B code system is the clearest and strongest indication yet that the complex processing infrastructure is fully online and ready for a mass rollout. This is not a test run, they assert, but a real live deployment. This perspective is reinforced by a market strategist identified as Enchu, who contextualizes the timing. They note that the fourth quarter release aligns perfectly with the end of major fiscal years, a period when global institutions are optimally prepared to settle large-scale liquidity events. Finally, a former bank insider, SAR3, provides a sense of striking immediacy, stating unequivocally that once a code is entered, the bank system releases the verified access within hours. It is happening in real time, right now. Together, these voices create a compelling and unified picture. The Tier 4B codes are real, the system is live, and the process is designed to deliver measurable, immediate outcomes.
With the five-step protocol for the final exchange now clearly defined, a critical and urgent question emerges for every holder. What is the precise logistical plan for this monumental event? The narrative anticipates this, acknowledging that while the codes grant verified access, the sheer operational challenge of launching such a high-security program across countless independent financial institutions requires meticulous coordination. The answer provided is not one of a single simultaneous global activation, but a more complex and strategic, phased approach. This staggered implementation, as described in the video, is a deliberate measure to ensure stability and control, preventing the system from being overwhelmed by a massive, instantaneous influx of transactions. It is framed as a necessary precaution to avoid systemic bottlenecks or administrative errors that could otherwise jeopardize a smooth and efficient process for everyone involved. This phased rollout introduces a new, dynamic layer to the endgame. The video suggests a critical window of action, anticipating that while some major banks may be ready to go fully live the moment the codes are released, others might intentionally phase in their full participation over the first 72 hours or more. This detail transforms the final leg of the journey into a period of intense vigilance for the investor. The timing of their exchange is no longer just a matter of convenience. It is presented as a factor that can directly impact the speed at which vital liquidity is accessed. The implication is clear. In a high-stakes event of this magnitude, being among the first to have one's code verified and processed could make a tangible difference in final financial outcomes. A sense of strategic urgency is created, turning the final weight into a race against the clock. In this environment, information becomes the most valuable asset. The narrative explicitly states that diligent tracking of rolled-out developments is more than a recommendation. It is a critical strategic necessity for maximizing your benefit. Every new report confirming that another bank has gone live, a new redemption center has officially opened its doors, or that code verification protocols have expanded becomes invaluably actionable intelligence. Investors who remain alert to these real-time developments are promised a significant strategic edge over those who are not paying close attention. This dynamic positions channels that provide these credible updates as essential command centers, guiding their followers through the final, fluid stages of the operation. This strategic rollout, with its inherent uncertainties, also serves a powerful narrative function. It explains why some investors might receive their codes and book appointments before others, preempting questions and doubts that could arise from an uneven distribution of experiences. Any perceived delay is not a sign of failure, but a feature of a carefully managed, secure implementation. The investor's role thus shifts one last time. They are no longer just a patient holder or a verified participant, but a strategic operator who must remain poised and informed, ready to act decisively the moment their window of opportunity opens.
The value of the secret codes, the narrative concludes, is multiplied exponentially when combined with up-to-the-minute information and a keen awareness of the operational sequence as this historic process rapidly unfolds.
As the narrative of the Tier 4B activation reaches its zenith, it concludes by turning its focus inward, providing practical, step-by-step guidance for the investor on the verge of their long-awaited transaction. The advice is methodical and designed to ensure a seamless final step. Holders are instructed to meticulously organize their physical currency and any proofs of purchase, to remain hyper-vigilant against fraudulent communications by verifying that any notification comes only from authorized banking sources, to maintain a calm and focused demeanor during the redemption process, and to decide in advance on their preferred payout strategy. This detailed counsel serves a dual purpose. It offers pragmatic advice while simultaneously reinforcing the imminence and reality of the event. By focusing on such granular details, the narrative makes the abstract promise feel concrete, transforming a speculative hope into a logistical checklist for an impending appointment. This entire procedural framework is built upon a foundation of specialized, esoteric language. Terms like Tier 4B, the Internet Group, contract rates, redemption centers, and the insights from figures like Inshu and SAR3 are not mere buzzwords. They are the load-bearing pillars of this intricate architecture of belief. This lexicon creates a powerful sense of exclusivity and insider knowledge, making followers feel they are privy to a complex, clandestine operation that is invisible to the outside world. The detailed explanation of tiered exchanges, secure codes, and phased rollouts provides a comprehensive and internally consistent logic that can be incredibly compelling, especially for those who have been emotionally and financially invested for years. It presents a world with its own rules, its own experts, and its own clear, sequential path to victory. However, when one steps outside this carefully constructed ecosystem and attempts to verify these claims against official mainstream financial sources, the entire narrative collapses into a void. The terminology that gives the story its structure and credibility does not exist in the world of institutional finance. Extensive searches of official publications, press releases, and regulatory filings from the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the central banks of Iraq and Vietnam reveal no mention of a Tier 4B, contract rates for public exchange, or a global currency revaluation event structured in this manner. The elaborate protocol, the secret codes, and the redemption centers are phantoms, their existence entirely confined to the speculative communities that discuss them. The verifiable reality remains unchanged and starkly contrasts with the video's promises. As of late 2025, the Central Bank of Iraq continues to manage its currency to ensure domestic economic stability, with no official program or intention to create a speculative windfall for foreign holders. Similarly, Vietnam's export-driven economy relies on a carefully managed exchange rate, and a sudden, massive revaluation of the dong would be economically destabilizing. Financial watchdogs continue to warn that such currency speculation schemes prey on hope, with the primary profits being made by the dealers who sell the physical currency at inflated prices. The Tier 4B secret codes narrative represents the latest and perhaps most sophisticated evolution of this long-running saga, a masterfully crafted procedural fable. It gives believers a new, more complex set of details to focus on, creating a powerful illusion of progress that keeps the dream perpetually and actionably just around the corner, even if it exists nowhere beyond the screens on which it is shared.